How to make money. Spirituality in the 3D edition. There are so many ways to make money, but let me try to break down what I think works and see if it works for you too. The 3 steps that I would like to talk about is intention, action, reflection, repeat. The same. Intention, action, reflection. Okay? You can associate those words with IAR. 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 Think of air, but instead of the I behind the A, let the A be first. You know what I mean? IAR, associated with anything so that you don't forget this. Intention, action, reflection, and then repeat. With intention, it's quite obvious what you do there. And this is regarding your money making, obviously. We're talking about money here. Write down your plans, visions, goals, whatever you would like to call it. Just write them the freaking down, because your intention is something. But when you start to write your ideas down, you will start to take the first step towards manifesting. That's when you start manifesting that vision. It's the first step that you take towards it. It's to write it down. Write it down on a piece of paper. And then action comes to play, where you take small steps towards your goals, towards those plans. And action can come in so many ways. You just get creative. You take steps, small steps. I say small because you can create like a 5-year vision or a blueprint, but you need to take the small steps, because once you take the small steps, you will build momentum and you will find yourself in a position where you can work on what you've already built. And of course, reflection is where you review the steps that you've taken, review if they have been successful or that if they were a failure. You learn from the mistakes and you reinforce the good habits. So you basically start to filter out what works and what doesn't in the reflection. Now let's give some examples for the steps that we spoke about. With the intention, it can include affirmations, gratitude journaling, reading relevant books. There are so many ways to make money affirmations, and I would advise you to start experimenting instead of me being specific and telling you what works for me. So what you need to do is to start to experiment. What type of money affirmations will attract more money for you? And if you keep awareness or your awareness switched on when it comes to what works and what doesn't, and that goes into the reflection, then you will start to see a pattern where your money increases when you do certain affirmations and decrease when you do some other affirmations. So you keep that cycle rolling for you to realize what works and what doesn't. With action, it includes changing habits, exploring new methods, investing in yourself and in your visions, researching and adapting. Now, changing habits is you taking real consideration into the things that you do daily that are associated with your physical action, where you see what type of habits support you in attracting the money that you require or the money that you're trying to manifest. Exploring new habits is where you grow. You explore what works and you abandon what doesn't. That is basically almost like becoming the person that you need to be to attract the type of money or the amount of money that you are trying to manifest. Investing in yourself is one of my favorite, because what is the only investment that you cannot lose on is investing in yourself, because at the end of the day, you're helping yourself grow and become the person that is that your future self will thank you for, because that's the vision, that's the futuristic kind of investment where you know it will be beneficial for where you want to go. So look into yourself and what type of things that are going to affect your future and what type of investment or improvement that you would like that will support you attracting more money, because you are part of the universe. So when you start to invest in yourself, whether this is in the physical sense, in an energy sense, or in an emotional sense, or in an educational sense, there are so many ways to invest in yourself and in your well-being for you to be at your top performance, for you to attract money. And I'm talking specifically about money here, but it has so many more benefits than just attracting money. Abundance is not just money, it comes in so many ways. So, but specifically for this video, I want to talk about how you can attract or make more money by investing in yourself, and that is included in your action plan towards manifesting that money. And obviously researching and adapting, this goes hand in hand with exploring new methods, because when you start to be open and research about the things that make you curious, that's when you grow, that's when you mature, that's when you learn new things that could inspire you to make more money. And adapting, because we are constantly changing as a collective. The world keeps changing. Adapting is very important, especially if you find it hard to adapt. Yes, you don't have to abandon the old methods completely if you know they work. If you feel like there is a bit of resistance in you growing your business or growing the money or increasing your money, then adaptation is really important, especially if you don't like change. This is a skill. You know, a lot of people think it's easy to change, but it's not. It's a skill. So you need to train yourself to think outside the box and be open to see new things, see new ways, see different perspectives, because that will help you adapt to change. And when it comes to making money and business and economy, change is inevitable. Going to reflection. Reflection is a bit more on the spiritual side of things. It can be of a physical sense, but let's talk about it. In the reflection, I've kind of made a few points, releasing negative perspectives, okay, of expectations and the self. So any negative thoughts, okay, what do we say about thoughts? Thoughts manifest into actions, and action manifests into character, and character manifests into a life pattern. So what you need to do, if you catch yourself saying something negatively about yourself or your capabilities of increasing your money or your finances or your ability to make money, or the fact that you could maybe even say yourself, I'm not worthy of that type of money, even if it's subconsciously, that will be in the way of you increasing your money. Appreciating the learning experience. Remember, when you fail, when you try something and you feel embarrassed for even trying, that should be gone from your system, because that is in the way of you learning. So appreciating the learning stage, even when you fail and you pick up yourself and say, okay, so I have learned not to go there, not to try this, not to continue on doing that. So be grateful and appreciative of the experiences that you go through. Once you start to reflect on the actions that you've taken that you thought were good ideas. You see what I mean? So do not let that be a regret, but to be an appreciation of experiencing something that doesn't work, so that you know it doesn't work. Meditation is also one of the things that you can do to release all the negative and perhaps even high burdening, draining energies that you could have gone through once you've done this cycle of intention and then action. Because intention is one thing, action is another. When you reflect on the intention and action, you're basically trying to release all that you've done, so that you gain or make space for a new perspective or new ways, new ideas, for you to repeat the cycle with a new eye, fresh eye. You know, when you start to, when you work so hard, you need to do that, a bit of restoration And that can be through meditation. And in meditation, you start to release all the burden, all the kind of heavy energy that you could have held or felt when you started making these plans and actioning them. And one of my favorite is rewards for small victories. Don't feel guilty for treating yourself. So if you accomplish a big step or even a small step, make sure that you are actually consciously aware that you are rewarding yourself. And these rewards doesn't have to be you flying yourself to across the other side of the planet. I mean that you could basically just tell yourself, well, today I deserve a meal out, or today I deserve to go out and have fun, or today after I accomplish this task, I'm gonna watch a movie and with some popcorn and I don't know, a glass of wine. You know, like the reward system basically trains the brain to reward the hard work. So you basically motivate yourself to do more of that work, but also enjoy doing it, because the brain will start to associate these rewards and be encouraged to finish a task instead of burdening yourself to the point where there is no reward, it's constant hard work and it's constant hustle. There is no fun. You know when they say, work hard, play hard. Yes, because the reward system is what keeps that cycle going. Reminding yourself of that mission is another point I would like to make. So when you are journaling, I would recommend you journal if you can every day, especially at the end of the day, because that will make you kind of reflect on the actions that you've taken and checking in with your intention if it's aligned with the actions, or the actions aligned with the intention. So one of the things I would really recommend is you reminding yourself, even if you were just meditating, reminding yourself of your mission, reminding yourself of why you're doing this, because that will be constantly motivating you and fueling you to do what you're doing. And your next step, that ties to the next point that I want to make, is rest. Don't be afraid. Don't feel guilty for taking rest. Rest is as important as the hard work that you're putting in, because recovery is necessary. You cannot use your phone if it's out of charge. You need to leave that phone charged for it to function the way you want it to function. If you have a cheap phone like mine, my phone starts glitching and not working properly when it's on low energy or low battery. So what I do, when it starts to go into 10%, I put it on the charger and leave it charge, and then once again it works fine. You need to know when to rest, and you need to know that resting is it's not a guilty pleasure. It's something that it's something that you have to do in order to perform at your best. If you're not resting, when people say sleep when you're dead, that is like the worst advice that you can ever give someone or yourself, because resting is really important for you to perform at your best. If anything, sleeping is really important. Me, myself, I do most of my work when I'm asleep. I can let my body rest while my spirit wanders out and does all the manifestation that I want for me. Last but not least, I've mentioned that briefly for you, which is journaling your experience and asking the whys. If there is something that is confusing you, I would really recommend that you journal about that before you sleep, because guess what? When you sleep, your brain likes to solve puzzles. And while your body is resting, let your brain, because the brain is constantly awake, let your brain do the work and find the answers, even in your subconscious, even if you know the answers but they're not there. It's like at the tip of your tongue, but you cannot really figure it out. Let your brain start solving issues for you while you are asleep. When you start asking the whys and journaling about your experiences, and even mentioning the things that you struggle with or trying to find meaning to, that is vital for you to do before you go to bed, because that's when the brain has time, while the body rests, to figure things out. And this is like a brief kind of description of how you can make more money. It's by setting the intention, applying the action, and reflecting on these two steps, the intention and the action. The reflection is you basically going back and figuring out if the intention or the action is aligned with the intention or the vision that you have for that money making idea. And this really can be applied to anything, but for this topic, money making is just one of the things that people manifest. So it's no different. It's no different than manifesting love. You can manifest love the same way. You can manifest health the same way. Everything needs a plan. Everything needs intention. Everything starts with an intention. Everything needs the action aligning with the intention. And the reflection is to help you grow and to help you bring awareness to where you are on the journey that you are at. And money is just energy. Remember that. It's not this scary thing. It's just an energy like anything else. So if you think abundantly, money is just that frequency that you need to tap in, but you need to be aligned with it for you to tap into. Okay. And another thing that I really like to use in my manifestation and in my journey is learn, earn, and manifest. Repeat. Learn, earn, manifest, and repeat. Learn, earn, manifest, and repeat. Or you can use intention, action, reflection, and repeat. So there's so many ways, so many play words that you can play with and see what works for you and see what doesn't, and make your own plan. Make your own plan. I believe in you. You can do it. Everyone is rightfully so ready to manifest the life that you desire. What's holding you back is you.